Hello, everyone, and welcome to the future of creativity. We've heard a lot from Scott and Chantal about what it can look like. But in the next 15 minutes, what we're trying to do now is to show you what you can already do with Adobe Creative Cloud and our artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms. And we call these algorithms Adobe Sensei because they're like a guide, they're like a master, if you will, that guide us through difficult tasks, repetitive tasks, things that we don't really want to do. All right? So this is what Sensei is for, to help us make our life easier. And I'm here today with Maddy because my last time in London was in 2019, November. It was, I think it was a Back from Max event. And then 2020 came, and we launched Adobe Live UK. And you remember that? At the time, with everything happening, we actually named it Adobe Live from the Sofa UK, because we all had to do it from home. And today, Maddy, I can say, she hosted almost over 100 of those Adobe Live sessions. So a big round of applause for Maddy, because
I wasn't expecting you to say that. We didn't rehearse that.
No,
That's like a new thing.
No rehearsing of that.
No,
So like I said, let's talk about Adobe Sensei and how it can make your life so much easier through a few examples. Maddy, it's like a little game between us two, right? Like
it's going to be a game, and I can't help but get competitive because you know me really well. And anyone that's joined me on a stream on Adobe Live will also know this. So let's get started on our journey with Adobe Sensei. And actually, let's jump into Adobe InDesign. So here you can see I'm working on a magazine for travel, and it's so good that we can all travel again now. So as you can see, I've got some lovely pages which are ready to go here. And what I'd like to do is, on this page here, I would like to put the copy around the image that I've got on the screen. Now, in the past, I would have had to draw a clipping path, either in Photoshop or in InDesign itself. But now, I can ask Adobe Sensei to do this for me. So it's pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. All right, so make sure that you've selected your image. And then I'm going to go down to the text wrap. And as you can see here we go. My text doesn't know what to do. It doesn't know where to go because I haven't told it what to do yet. But
you just told it, don't come on this image.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, this is a lovely image, but, you know, we need some text bit in a minute. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the contour options. I'm going to select subject, and watch this. Are you ready? Adobe Sensei will do this for me. It's saving me so much time. And the great thing is that if I want to change the image again, it will remember that I want to do that. So whatever image I bring in, it will also make sure that that text, that copy, is wrapped around the image. How cool is that?
That's pretty cool. And that's just one of the Sensei features in Adobe InDesign. But let's switch over to Adobe Photoshop, where there's quite a few things that I wanted to show you. And the first one that I wanted to show you here is sky replacement. Because in this photo that I took a few years ago, the sky wasn't on my side. But under image, layer, where is it? Of course, I'm edit, here we go. I'm getting lost. I'm lost already. It's here somewhere. Wait. Damn it.
There you are.
Here we go. See, this is a live thing. Okay, I'm too used to
This is what happens.
Okay, can we record that again?
But it's cool. When you see it, it's cool. Definitely.
Where is it?
There it is.
Thank you, Maddy.
There you go.
All right.
No worries.
Automatically, it takes one of the skies that I selected earlier, but I can go in here and choose from any type of skies. So I can choose a sky with, normal clouds, and it'll apply it to that picture. And Adobe Sensei actually recognizes what the sky is, and I'm going to show you that in a second. That's much more dramatic, and I think it changes the whole, this whole image, and I like it. And I'm going to say OK to that. And basically what it did, it automatically created a mask, and let's go here into the black and white mask, and you can see that very precisely it detected the sky and just replaced it with this other sky. And you can use your own skies, the skies that come with Photoshop. Well, any picture becomes better. Second thing I wanted to show you is the landscape mixer. Let's cancel out of this. And this is one of those neural filters that Scott was talking about. And this is another picture that I took, but this one in the Swiss Alps. And I was wondering, how would it look in another season, for example? And again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the layer, and under Filters, Neural Filters, we see that we already have a whole bunch of featured filters here, and some filters that are in beta. Basically, which means that we're still working on them, but you can already use those. And in this case, I'm going to turn on Landscape Mixer, and I could choose from a whole bunch of presets here. I want this image to have the same kind of tone as one of those pictures that I have here. Or I can even upload a custom image that, that I like and apply that to this image. But let's play with the seasons, and let's see what this panorama would look in winter. And it's working on the machine itself, and boom.
So
Adobe Sensei completely recreates this image from, it just thinks, okay, this is what it would look like in winter. Or another one that I really like is, for example, I want to see that in the sunset. And again, boom, now I have the same image in a sunset light. Pretty cool, no? Good. It's nice playing with those. Now, last thing I want to show you is actually a task that many of us do on a daily basis, and this is image compositing in Adobe Photoshop. So I'm adding a few layers here. A few stock images that I got, and I cut them out, and I put them on the image. And the problem that all of us have with compositing is that the colors never quite match. And this is the hard work on image compositing. What I can do now is select one of those layers, the Explorer, for example, and again, under Filters, I'm going to go into my Neural Filters, and I'm going to use the Harmonization filter. Choosing a layer, base it on the jungle layer, the one that I have in the background, and let go, and boom. It immediately applies the same tone and colors to the image, and it makes my life so much easier to put all of these images together and make them look more realistic. Of course, it's a good start. I can always go in there and play a little bit more and change some of the color parameters and stuff like that, but it's a good start. What do you think, Maddy?
I think it's good. And you had a couple of moments there. When you watch firework displays, and everyone goes, ooh, ah. I heard that with the neural filters. It does get you like that. Well, I hope that there's a little bit of that with what I'm about to show you in Adobe Stock, because this is so cool. When I first saw this, I got goosebumps, right? I know it sounds silly, and I know you'll be like, oh, right, Maddy. Seriously, I really did. So let's look at how Adobe Sensei, powers Adobe Stock, but also searching for the right image. This will really save you time. So here is Adobe Stock. And what you can see here is that it's not just images. If you look across the top, you have got photos, illustrations, vectors, videos, MOGOT files, if you're looking to do motion graphics. But my favorite, if you're like me and you have fear of the blank page, then there are templates, and I live in those templates. I've got them all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for the perfect travel image for my travel brochure that I'm working on. So let me just type in travel. Now, hopefully, the internet will be fast enough to keep up with me. Here we go. All right, so let's go into the filters. Now, this is the bit that I'm sure everyone's like, yeah, okay. So let me show you, right? So we're looking for images. And we want to make sure that this is horizontal, because for my project, this is going to go across the top of my pages. I also want to make sure that I've got room for copy space as well. So if I select that, because I want to make sure that my headline will be, right up there. And then if I scroll down a little bit more, as you can see, it's searching for those images. I want to make sure that it's including people. All right. So I've done this now. Now what this is doing is this is searching through over 300 million royalty-free assets. So all of those are accessible, and I think there's over 275 million images, right, that this is searching for. And with my filters and with everything I've selected, this is pretty good so far. Loving the bright colors, loving all of this. And if I scroll down a bit, let's see. Here we go. This is a pretty good image. It's good, but it's not the one. Let me see if I can find similar. Right. All right, so this is cool. So Adobe Sensei is helping me search and find the right image for my project. But are you ready for something really cool? This is going to get the ooh, I'm sure. All right, so if I click on the person, what I want to do here is I actually want to search by content. Okay, so if I click on the person, the reason why I'm doing this is that at the moment, that person, that image, isn't exactly right. I actually want to move that person to the left because, you know, all of the content at the moment there is on the right. So if I move this over, what this is going to do is it's going to search for images with all of the filters that I've applied, but now on the left of the screen instead of the right hand of the screen. Thank you. See, Rufus, see? And
well done.
It doesn't stop there. I'm still going. If I can actually make this even smaller. Here we go. So this will now search for more images with exactly the right size for my project. Here we go. So you can see I've got people walking on the beach. So pretty cool, right? So this is how, you know, Adobe Sensei is really helping us search for the right image for your project. And there you go, back to you.
Yes, because that's super interesting because it's not in the metadata. You know, photographers put metadata in their images. All of that stuff comes through the algorithms. So we've looked at pictures until now, but let's have a look at the moving image. And what I want to do in this case is use Adobe Sensei to reformat that video. Basically, I want to go from horizontal to vertical. And basically, what I would have normally, if I go here on my timeline here, if I would just resize it, this is what would happen. You see that the girl is walking from left to right, but she's walking into the picture and out of the picture. What I want really is for the girl to be always centered when I publish that video to my Instagram stories, for example. So let's take that sequence, and under sequence, I can now say auto-reframe that sequence. And I will choose a new target aspect ratio, 9/16, the opposite, the exact opposite of what I have now. So it's going to go from horizontal to vertical, and I'm going to create that. And basically, Adobe Sensei looks at the subject a little bit like it did in InDesign. And what I have now is this video with the girl always centered. And if I go here into my project sequence here, I can also go in here and go in the effects, and let's choose the video here. And if I go on the, let's analyze it for a second, and overwrite so we can see all the keyframes here. It actually created all of the keyframes to move the image box across the video. I'm now ready to export that in the new format. Pretty cool, no?
That's really cool. That's really good, especially, you know, I'm loving the videos. Honestly, all of that stuff. I absolutely love it. All right, so I've got one more for you.
One more, okay.
I've got one more for you, and this, honestly, is my favorite, and I absolutely adore it. So let's jump into Lightroom, and let's look at another AI-powered feature called Super Resolution. So here is an image of my dad. And the grandkids. Now, for all of you that might have forgotten, it's Father's Day in the UK on Sunday. So, just a little reminder for you all there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to print an image for my dad on a fancy canvas with a floating frame. Going to do all the things. And I'm sure that, like many of you, we've all taken photos over the years that we want to blow up. We want them to be bigger. They've always got to be bigger, right? So, in this image, and I chose this image for two reasons, by the way. I've got to share it. Number one, all of the grandkids are listening to him in this image, which is really important. But two, Fizz the dog is also listening. So I was like, this winner. You know when you find the image, you're like, oh, amazing. All right, so let's have a look at super resolution. So if you take a look at the right-hand side of this screen, the metadata says that this image is 1600 by 1200, okay? Now that's great, but as I said, I want to blow this up. I want to make it larger, for my fancy canvas piece of art. So if I go into Photo and Enhance, what you'll see here is Super Resolution. And if I just drag this up, just to show you the detail really quickly, on little Fizz's face, little Fizz the dog. Yeah. If I click on that, here we go, you can see this is the before with the pixels, and this is the after. So you can see this already. So if I click Enhance, just give this couple of seconds because we are live. Here we are. Hopefully, here it comes, here it comes. You'll see it in a moment. Ah, there you go. So top right-hand corner, you can now see that almost instantly, and that didn't take very long at all, this is now 3,200 by 2,400, ready to print, all thanks to Adobe Sensei in super resolution. How cool is that? Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty.
And, you know, I'm going to show you one last thing because I was very inspired by what Chantal was showing us. And I just wanted to show you all how easy it is to use Adobe Aero and also use Adobe Aero in the activation zone that we have for the Bowie project. Let's open Adobe Aero for a second and let's create a new scene. And first of all, it's going to try to find surfaces. Is this long enough? Can I pull it more?
Okay,
did it find surfaces? Surface found. Okay, let's say this is my surface. I want to add something to the surface. Let's use one of the starter assets, which you all have. And let's import an animation here. And I'm going to use the robot character. And I'm going to put the robot right here on the catwalk. Let's select the robot, make the robot slightly bigger, something like that. And then I can do a whole bunch of stuff, like, for example, add behaviors, because that robot is animated. So let's have a trigger, and let's say that on tap, the robot starts dancing. Okay, so let's say like this, and add an action to that, play the animation, robot character, perfect. And now I have the robot here in my augmented reality, and let's go into preview mode, and like this, and if I tap the robot starts dancing.
Woo,
and I can take a picture of all of you. Pretty cool, no? And easy, easy, easy to start playing with augmented reality, with the starter assets or your own 3D elements. So we've seen a lot of stuff today, and quite a few examples of artificial intelligence and machine learning applied to various files and workflows. And we're constantly adding more of those to all of our applications. So from the metaverse to 3D and massive innovation in Creative Cloud, we've had quite a glimpse into the future. And I think the future is really, really bright. And thank you, Maddy, for joining us to do that.
Me.
Yes.
Oh, do you know what? I feel like a super fan. Like there are some creatives that I've met on Adobe Live that I've never met in person.
And
I feel like I needed to go around with like autograph books or something, like honestly. So
all right.
Come find you
Thank you. And let's move on to our next guest together with Malin.
Cool.
Thank you.